With us once again in Tucson, Arizona. Kelly, what more are we learning about that latest news about the DNA found on a glove a couple of miles from Nancy's house?
Well, the snapshot we are getting from investigators is that there's a lot of evidence that they've been dealing with, and a glove and other gloves have been talked about a lot publicly, and they have taken testing of those. They have established DNA profile, and then they've compared it against that database that you referred to, which includes persons all across the country who've been arrested or charged or convicted with a crime. There are differing laws state by state about when someone who's taken into custody must provide their DNA. But it is a vast database, and certainly if there were a criminal history, that would be a good way to identify a potential depositor of that DNA. Then, is it in some way linked to the Guthrie case? That's another big question.
Stop everything. This story will leave you speechless. Nancy Guthrie's body has been recovered, and what was found inside is so horrifying, investigators could barely process it. This isn't just a crime. It's a nightmare that was hiding in plain sight, a darkness lurking behind a quiet suburban door. Inside her body, authorities discovered shocking evidence. DNA traces, mysterious objects, and signs of struggle that no one could have predicted. Sources tell us these clues don't just point to a killer. They reveal a story of betrayal so twisted, so calculated, it could destroy reputations and shock the nation. And it gets worse. Leaked reports claim the killer left a signature behind. Something so sinister, it shows they were familiar with Nancy's life, her routine, and even her family secrets. Social media is already exploding with reactions. Celebrities are weighing in. Insiders are leaking new information every hour. And the most terrifying part? Investigators believe this was just the beginning. You need to watch closely, because the details we're about to uncover will leave you questioning everyone you thought you could trust. Stick with us, because the next revelations will make your jaw drop, and the horror is far from over. Before we dive into the horrors of what investigators found inside Nancy Guthrie's body, you need to understand who Nancy was, and why her life, seemingly ordinary, was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Nancy Guthrie, 84, was not just Savannah Guthrie's mother. She was a quiet force behind one of America's most recognizable morning show anchors, a woman whose every decision shaped the life of her high-profile family. But Nancy's life was far from peaceful. Born Nancy Long in Fort Wright, Kentucky, she grew up in a community where secrets were whispered but rarely spoken. She married Charles Errol Guthrie, a mining engineer, and the couple moved across the globe, Melbourne, Australia, Tucson, Arizona, always chasing opportunity, always planting roots, always hiding the tension bubbling beneath the surface. Those relocations weren't just geographic. They were emotional minefields. Sources say Nancy and Charles had a marriage riddled with conflict and unspoken resentment. Friends whispered that Charles could be controlling, even cold, and that Nancy's fierce independence was often the only thing keeping her alive. By the time Savannah was born in 1971, Nancy had developed an almost obsessive instinct to protect her family. She was loving, yes, but also intensely controlling, a perfectionist with secrets she refused to share. Her children, Annie, Cameron, and Savannah, describe a mother who could make you feel invincible one moment and crush the next. She could lift you up with a word, Savannah said once, and break your heart with another. But insiders say those moments of discipline and intensity weren't just parental. They were strategic. Nancy knew the world would notice her daughter's rise to fame, and she planned meticulously to ensure Savannah's path was flawless. And yet, behind the carefully curated image of the perfect family, there were fractures no one saw coming. Reports from anonymous sources suggest Nancy's household was a web of tension, small betrayals, and whispered threats. Family friends recall arguments that erupted over trivial things but carried undertones of manipulation and control. One neighbor, who asked to remain anonymous, claimed to overhear Nancy warning Savannah, "People will come for you. They'll try to take everything, even your life." At the time, no one understood the gravity of that warning. Fast forward to 2026. Nancy, now living alone in her Catalina foothills home, seemed to have found a fragile peace. But even in her twilight years, she remained fiercely vigilant. She had no alarm system, no indoor cameras, Just a single outdoor Nest doorbell, a seemingly small device that would later become the linchpin in the investigation. Experts have called the targeting of her home a perfect storm of vulnerability, noting that someone carefully studied her habits. The killer didn't just strike randomly. Sources tell us investigators believe this was a calculated assault on a family deeply in the public eye, with motives that may extend beyond simple ransom or robbery. And here's where it gets chilling. Anonymous insiders claim that for months before Nancy's disappearance, someone had been watching the family, studying their routines, and gathering data. Multiple reports of suspicious individuals near the property went unconfirmed, but law enforcement sources suggest these weren't coincidences. The fact that Nancy's doorbell camera was tampered with before her abduction shows a level of planning most people wouldn't even imagine. The stakes were further heightened by Savannah's high-profile journalism career. From Epstein interviews to controversial political coverage, Savannah had interviewed some of the most dangerous and well-connected figures in the country. Investigators believe this may have painted a target on her family, though no official evidence confirms it yet. Social media rumors are running wild, claiming connections between past stories, corporate enemies, and even secretive intelligence sources. Whether true or not, the narrative alone has amplified the public's horror. And there's more. Nancy's physical condition made her an extraordinarily vulnerable target. At 84, she relied on a pink cane to walk and daily medication to survive. Yet, even in this state, sources say Nancy had a sharp mind and an unshakable presence, traits that likely unnerved whoever was planning her abduction. Leaked photos of the scene after her disappearance show her cane and medication untouched, her purse and wallet in place, as if the intruder had only one mission: take Nancy herself. Friends, neighbors, and family describe her as magnetic, a combination of warmth and toughness, loyal and clever, capable of lighting up a room or shutting down an argument with single glance. And yet, all of that could not protect her from the terrifying night that would soon unfold. This is where the story becomes unthinkable. For weeks, investigators had almost nothing to go on. The doorbell camera had been tampered with, no alarm triggered, no witnesses. And then came the shocking breakthrough. The recovered footage and the DNA found on a black glove 2 miles from the property. A male DNA profile, completely unknown, with no prior criminal record. Experts now call this a genetic ghost, a suspect that has never been seen before, possibly connected to Nancy's family in ways we are only beginning to understand. This is a stage on which the drama will unfold. A quiet, suburban home, a family with secrets, a vulnerable target, an intruder with precision, calculation, and motives that remain shrouded in mystery. Everything that follows, the shocking betrayals, the escalations, and the horrifying discoveries, builds on this foundation. And you better believe it, viewers, what happened next will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the Guthrie family and about the world outside your own front door. It was a night that no one could have predicted, a night when the quiet streets of Tucson, Arizona, became the epicenter of one of the most shocking and mysterious cases in recent history. Sources confirm that the moment investigators recovered Nancy Guthrie's body, the scale of betrayal, planning, and hidden motives exploded like a bomb. But the horror didn't end there. What they discovered inside her home, and the messages surrounding her disappearance, pushed the story into unthinkable territory. Leaked sources tell us that the night Nancy vanished, a masked intruder moved with unnerving calm. Surveillance footage, previously thought to be deleted, was recovered from the doorbell camera, and the images are chilling. The figure walks across the porch with deliberate steps, completely aware of every motion inside the house. But here's the kicker. The intruder left behind almost no trace, except for a single black glove later found 2 miles away, carrying a male DNA profile that is turning investigators' heads. This DNA, when run through Cody's, returned 0 hits, meaning the suspect had no prior criminal record. The reality? Someone out there is capable, cunning, and completely off the radar. And it gets worse. Insider reports reveal that during the same week, Nancy received cryptic messages on her phone. One message, timestamped just hours before her disappearance, read, "You know too much. Be careful what you trust." Another, sent anonymously via email, hinted at someone in her close circle. The ones you love might not be who they seem. The fact that these messages came just before the abduction has law enforcement spooked. Could this have been a family insider? Or someone who knew Nancy's routines better than anyone else? Meanwhile, the investigation into purchases and movements in the city paints an even darker picture. Walmart purchase records, holster and backpack sales, and cell tower data have been scoured for clues. According to leaked law enforcement briefings, over 40,000 tips were received, but they've been narrowed to just 40 potential suspects. Among those, a few had ties to local businesses, some had fleeting online interactions with the Guthrie family, and a handful had unexplained financial transactions coinciding with the night of Nancy's disappearance. And now, a sealed arrest warrant reportedly indicates that investigators are zeroing in on a single individual, someone so close that no one saw it coming. The drama intensifies when we look at the Range Rover incident. Sources tell us that shortly after Nancy was taken, her luxury SUV was towed from a neighborhood in what law enforcement calls a strategic containment move. Insiders suggest the vehicle may have been used to mask the intruder's escape route. Or worse, it might contain evidence so explosive that it could implicate someone inside the family circle. And yes, there's more. Financial transactions tied to Nancy's relatives are now under scrutiny, hinting at a deeper web of greed, betrayal, and manipulation. Social media has already erupted. Anonymous screenshots allegedly from Nancy's private accounts show her expressing paranoia in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. One message read, "I feel like someone's watching. I can't trust anyone, not even family." Another cryptic note, "If anything happens to me, look closer than the surface." Fans are speculating endlessly. Could this point to a hidden motive, a cover-up, or a betrayal from someone who should have protected her? And just when you think it can't get any worse, a shocking twist hits. Leaked text from an unknown number suggests that the intruder may have inside knowledge of the Guthrie household layout, even knowing when Nancy was alone. One message, leaked to a local reporter, reads, "She's on the porch alone." Now, this revelation has authorities scrambling. Could the suspect have been monitoring the family for weeks or months? And if so, who allowed this level of surveillance to go unnoticed? The tension doesn't stop there. Witnesses describe seeing a mysterious figure near property in the days leading up to the abduction, always wearing the same nondescript black hoodie. Authorities say the individual's movements were calculated and meticulous, almost as if this was a planned execution, not a random crime. And the black glove's DNA, completely untraceable, only adds to the nightmare. Someone with no record, someone who knows the family, and someone whose motives are still shrouded in darkness. The community is reeling. Neighbors are scared, family members are devastated, and social media has ignited with wild theories. Some say it's revenge. Others claim it's a planned hit by a professional operative. And yet, the most disturbing possibility? That the person responsible is someone Nancy trusted or even loved. As this chapter of the story closes, viewers are left with one horrifying, unanswered question. Who would plan such a precise, merciless attack on one of the most unsuspecting women in the country, and why? And as authorities move closer to their target, one thing is clear. The shocking revelations are far from over. Just when the nation thought the story couldn't get any darker, a second bombshell detonated. And this time, it's sending shockwaves across social media, news outlets, and every corner of the internet. Leaked documents obtained by our insider reveal that Nancy Guthrie's personal phone and emails were hacked weeks before her disappearance, and some of the messages point to a chilling premeditation. One email, supposedly from an anonymous source, reads, "Everything is in motion. She won't see it coming." The implication is terrifying. Someone was planning this long before that fatal night. As news of these leaks broke, Twitter exploded. Fans, journalists, and amateur sleuths flooded the platform with conspiracy theories. Hashtag Nancy Guthrie began trending worldwide within hours. One viral thread claimed, "The DNA match is just the tip of the iceberg. Someone close is involved." Another suggested, "Financial records show money moving suspiciously through relatives' accounts the night she vanished. This was not random. The drama was no longer confined to Tucson. It had become a national spectacle. Confined to Tucson, it had become a national spectacle. But here's where the story takes an even darker twist. Investigators reportedly uncovered deleted Walmart purchase records that were recovered through federal subpoena. These records suggest the suspect acquired items matching the intruder's gear, gloves, a backpack, and a tactical holster, weeks before Nancy disappeared. And when combined with cell tower data showing repeated visits to the area, law enforcement insiders say this may point to someone extremely familiar with Nancy's schedule, possibly a trusted acquaintance or family insider. Celebrities and influencers joined the frenzy. One leaked TikTok video shows a local personality whispering, "If what we've heard is true, the betrayal runs deeper than anyone can imagine. This isn't just a crime. It's a plan executed with terrifying precision." Another Instagram post claimed that an anonymous source told them that the Range Rover towed from Nancy's driveway contained evidence that could blow this case wide open. Every new detail fuels public outrage, and social media is ablaze with anger, shock, and relentless speculation. And the cliffhanger that is everyone talking? Investigators now believe that the intruder may have had help inside the house. Leaked text suggests someone disabled certain security systems the night Nancy vanished. Combine that with the masked figure's calm demeanor on recovered doorbell footage, and it paints a horrifying picture. This wasn't a random act. It was a calculated, insider-assisted operation. As the story escalates, authorities remain tight-lipped. But one thing is clear. The narrative has shifted. Nancy Guthrie's disappearance has evolved into a national mystery filled with deception, betrayal, and secrets that some would kill to protect. And while the country watches in disbelief, the next revelation promises to be even more explosive. As the shocking revelations about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance hit the airwaves, the public erupted. Social media became a battleground overnight. Fans flooded Twitter with desperate questions. How could someone so close betray her like this? And is Nancy's family hiding something? Heated debates tore apart comment sections, with people accusing relatives, neighbors, and even investigators of covering up critical details. Hashtag Nancy Guthrie, hashtag Justice for Nancy, and hashtag Insider Betrayal were trending simultaneously, dominating feeds across the country. Celebrities weighed in, amplifying the firestorm. One reality star tweeted cryptically, "Some people pretend to care, but some betray the ones closest to them. Watch the space." Another posted an Instagram story hinting, "You won't believe who's involved. This isn't just a crime, it's a betrayal." Influencers began speculating about the mysterious black glove DNA, with TikTokers creating viral videos comparing the case to classic crime thrillers. Every post, every comment, seemed to pull the story deeper into chaos. Mainstream media jumped in, but even journalists seemed stunned by the twists. One headline read, "From doorbell footage to DNA mysteries, Nancy Guthrie's disappearance shakes a nation." Another report claimed insiders were leaking documents faster than authorities could respond, creating a tug-of-war between secrecy and public demand. The story became a viral feedback loop. Every leak, every hint fueled more outrage, and the public hung on each word, desperate for answers. Fan theories ran wild. Some argued the suspect was a distant relative, pointing to financial transactions that aligned with the night Nancy vanished. Others suggested an accomplice from Nancy's inner circle, citing the calm demeanor of the masked figure captured on recovered footage. Reddit threads exploded with debates. One user wrote, "It's either a meticulously planned inside job or something even darker that no one sees coming." Even law enforcement faced scrutiny. Anonymous insiders leaked that the FBI had narrowed down the list of suspects to 40, but public pressure intensified as people demanded action. Calls for transparency surged, petitions were shared, and hashtags demanding a full investigation went viral. Every new report only amplified the drama, leaving the public in a state of panic, speculation, and obsession. The cliffhanger? The industry whispers that major political and social figures may be connected to the mystery, hinting at a scandal that could extend far beyond Tucson. Rumors suggest upcoming court documents will reveal names that no one expects, names that could shatter reputations and ignite a nationwide controversy. At this point, the public isn't just watching, they're living the drama, sharing theories, and waiting for the next shocking revelation that could turn everything upside down. Just when the nation thought it had seen everything, an explosive revelation dropped that nobody could have predicted. Sources claiming to be inside the investigation leaked documents suggesting that the suspect linked to Nancy Guthrie's black glove DNA may not be acting alone. According to these insiders, a network of accomplices could be involved. People closer to Nancy than anyone ever suspected. Every twist now feels darker, more sinister, and completely personal. Investigators reportedly discovered encrypted messages hidden in seemingly innocent emails and text chains. One message read, "Everything is in place. Nobody suspects us. She'll never see it coming." Analysts say the language indicates a cold, calculated plan executed over months. Fans are speculating wildly. Was this a hired plot? Or someone from Nancy's inner circle manipulating events from behind the scenes? Social media blew up instantly. TikTokers, Twitter detectives, and Instagram sleuths posted countdowns, conspiracy threads, and reaction videos. Millions of views overnight. But the shocker didn't stop there. Law enforcement insiders revealed that the midnight raid on the suspect's property uncovered documents linking high-profile figures. People whose names could topple careers and ignite nationwide outrage. Financial records, hidden correspondence, and untraceable communications point to a secret web of greed, betrayal, and cover-ups. Reddit threads erupted with theories, from inside job by a trusted relative to corporate figures using Nancy's disappearance as a cover for criminal activities. Every new leak added fuel to the fire, and the public anxiety reached a fever pitch. Meanwhile, the masked figure from the recovered doorbell footage suddenly became central to the narrative. Experts analyzing the footage claimed that subtle movements and gestures indicated familiarity with the household, suggesting this was not a random intruder, but someone Nancy knew intimately. Online forums exploded. Users posted side-by-side comparisons, claimed to recognize the figure from past videos, and even speculated about possible accomplices waiting in the shadows. The story's psychological horror intensified, leaving the public unsettled, panicked, and obsessed. Here's the twist that shattered the final calm. Investigators reportedly believe that Nancy Guthrie may have uncovered a secret that put her life in immediate danger, something so explosive it explains the meticulous planning, the anonymous threats, and the bizarre calm of the masked intruder. The exact nature of this secret remains classified, but insiders hint it could change the course of multiple high-profile careers if ever revealed. And just when viewers thought the story might stabilize, social media sleuths noticed anomalies in surveillance footage that suggest someone tampered with the evidence itself, raising questions. Was the investigation being manipulated? Is the public seeing the full truth? Or has someone more dangerous than the suspect been hiding in plain sight all along? This final twist leaves the drama far from over. Every theory seems plausible, yet nothing is confirmed. Every leak raises more questions than answers. One thing is certain. The next update could bring revelations that will shake not only Tucson, but the entire nation. Before we end, we need to hear from you. What do you think Nancy Guthrie discovered that made her a target? Could there really be multiple accomplices hiding in plain sight? Drop your theories in the comments because the most shocking secrets might just be revealed in the next update. Smash that like button if you're following this insane investigation. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next explosive chapter because what comes next will shock the nation even more.